AFTV, Julian, 2-0 to the Arsenal. Was it comfortable or was it nervy or what was it? I mean, how would you assess the game today?
It was comfortable in the first half and I didn't feel nervous at all, but the longer the game went on, then the more nervy I got, and I think Graham summed it up quite well, that you look at that game, you look at the result and you can get fooled into thinking that was a comfortable win, but you actually look at the stats behind it. I think they had something like three shots on target and they had good chances. I think the reason we've actually found it more comfortable in the scoreline was more to do with their wasteful finishing than our great defending, because there was more than one occasion where we were quite sloppy and we gave the ball away and we gifted them opportunities. And I think if you come up against a team that's better finishing, and there's better teams in the Premier League than Wolves. People have said that we've had a difficult start, but having Wolves at home in the first game, I thought was a great fixture to start things off at.
Yeah, and listen, you are going to get teams. I think every team we're going to see this weekend is not going to be 100%, especially this season, when nobody's really had a proper pre-season, have they? It's been really disjointed because of the Euros, Copa America, etc.
Yeah, you've had a bit of, you could call it disjointed, that players are coming back at different times, but each team has had a good pre-season. I mean, you look at, what Arteta did.
A player like a Declan Rice has only had 2. He comes off today with cramp. He's only had 2 games. He's not had a proper pre-season.
Yeah, but what you've got is a really big squad, and some of the players, including Odegaard, and I think it really showed today, had a pre-season. They went to Marbella before the actual start of pre-season. So you had some players on the pitch that got even more kind of acclimatisation to the Premier League than they would do normally, and I think it really showed that we were prepared. You had some concerns that would we be prepared for Wolves at home on that first game, because that's what it was all about. It wasn't about were we prepared for pre-season, were we prepared for the first game of the season, 17th of August, 3 o'clock at this place to win the game, and we had enough to win that game.
Yep.
However, it was, I would call that performance an adequate performance. No one's going to complain at the end of the season that we lost the league because we only beat Wolves 2-0 on the first game of the season.
And do you sit next to me in the game, and I am going to reveal it. He was telling me that we should take Saka off. Now, how do you explain that?
Well, so you asked.
Take your time.
I'll take my time. You asked me who should we take off at that point, and I said, and this is where I'm going to pull you up because you like to.
Hold on.
Yeah, because you like to give a little bit of information and not put things into context. All right. So I said, Saka's had a quiet game up now. He said, yeah. No, I agree with that. I said, so I'd take Saka off.
And then what did I say? I then said to you, but he's the type of player, even when he is having a quiet game, he has so much quality that he'll get you a goal. And I also said to you, let's remember he had the assist as well.
No, I don't remember hearing that.
Well, you go and do it.
I honestly don't remember you saying
telling lies on me now, live on AFTV.
I didn't hear it. I didn't say.
Oh, you didn't hear it?
It was loud.
Well, that's what
it was loud,
yeah,
and the atmosphere's great at Arsenal.
It was right,
Yeah.
but listen, the most important thing is getting the win.
Yeah.
How are you looking at this season ahead now? How are you feeling?
Okay, it was really important to start because it's got to such a level with Manchester City that if you come away with a draw in your first game, we've lost the league. Sack Arteta, everyone's going ballistic. It's ridiculous. Although I've got a certain sympathy now for that kind of attitude because of the levels that Manchester City have set. It's almost like true. It's like before when Arsenal would lose a game and people would go mad, and I was thinking, what are these people on? How on earth can you be so kind of angry at just one result? Let's put things into context. But it's actually got to the stage now that if you drop points against a team like Wolves at home, you probably won't win the league. If City, and you've got to kind of appreciate that City aren't going to tail off. Once, for as long as Pep's there, he's such a great manager, he won't let them tail off. So if you don't keep up to those sort of levels and you fall behind them. We've never really fallen behind them apart from towards the end of the season when they've gone on to win the league. But if you can imagine a time where if they're ahead of us by 5-6 points, I can't see us making up that kind of difference, not because we don't have the capabilities, because they just simply won't drop points.